the solitude that we need to practice is while living in this world, we have to see and realize and accept कि सारियां दे विच रब वसदा, that there is WhyGuru in everybody and everything that we see. हम होवे लाले गोले गुरसिखां के। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Welcome to another episode of Sikha Di Bhagat Mala, where we share the Sakhi of Gursikhs from the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Angad Dev Ji, as mentioned by Bhai Gurdas Ji in their Vaar, and retold by Shaheed Bhai Singh Ji in their Pothi. So today's Sakhi is going to be about Bhai Jitta Randhava, who was a Sikh of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So Bhai Gurdas Ji in Vaar 11, Pauri number 14, they say, Jitta Randhava pala hai, Buddha Buddha ek man tyag hai. So there's a mention of two Gursikhs in this Pankti. The first one is Bhai Jitta Randhava, pala hai, means he was a very noble Sikh, and Buddha ek man tyag hai. And here is a mention of Baba Buddha Ji, who was first Bhai Buddha Ji, and then he became Baba Buddha Ji, ek man tyag hai, and how he meditated on Paramatma, on WhyGuru with single-minded focus. So we are going to explore on Bhai Jitta Ji's Sakhi today. Now Bhai Jitta Ji, they came to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and they did a binti ki Sache Pacha, I've been to many sadhus, many saints, many people, and I've asked them the same question ki can you tell me the way to obtain peace, to obtain sukha, happiness, joy, by which I can attain mukti as well. And Bhai Jitta Ji says that no one could actually answer my question, or whatever they said, it was not satisfactory to me. Now I've come to your Sharan, I've come to your sanctuary, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Can you please tell me the path, tell me the way for me to obtain sukha, peace, bliss, ananda? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji then tells Bhai Jitta Ji that there are two methods, two ways that you can obtain peace and sukha, happiness. And Guruji says that these methods have also been mentioned in all the other scriptures and other religions as well. And theoretically it has been mentioned, and practically the saints, the sadhus, the yogis, the brahmgyanis, they have practiced these methods and it has proven to be successful. So Bhai Jitta Ji says, and what are these methods? And if there are two, can you share them both to me? And then maybe I can see which one I can follow. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that there are two paths. The first one is a Hatha Yog and the second one is a Bhakti Yog. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that Hatha Yog is the difficult path or method of doing Bhakti meditation. And Bhakti Yog is the easier path, method of doing meditation. Now these methods, these Bhakti Yog and Hatha Yog, is not only mentioned in Sikha Di Bhagat Mala, but it was also mentioned in Pran Sangli Granth when Guru Nanak Dev Ji goes to Sangla Deep and they meet Raja Shivna. So when Raja Shivna becomes a Sikh of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they also ask the same question, that what yog, what bhakti, what meditation I can do to get mukti. And that's when Guru Nanak Dev Ji also explained the same Bhakti Yog and Hatha Yog and the 8 parts of yog and how one can practice it. So Guru Sahib says the 8 parts of yog, be it Bhakti or Hatha Yog. The first one is Yam. Yam is abstinence, means not doing something or letting go of certain things. Second one is Niyam. Niyam means discipline, a routine, something that you have to do constantly. Then the third one is Ekanta Desh, means solitude or staying somewhere where there's nobody else. And the fourth one is Asan. Asan means posture, so yoga posture, sitting posture when you meditate. Then we have Pranayam. Pranayam means the breathing technique when you meditate. And then we have Dhyan. So Dhyan means meditation. Then comes Tarna. Tarna means concentration, focus when you meditate. And then when you achieve that, then the last part of yoga is Samadhi. So Samadhi is absorption, means becoming one with WhyGuru. So these are the 8 steps or the 8 stages or the 8 parts of yoga. So Bhai Jitta Ji says that this is a bit too much. Like, it's a lot of information, a lot of terminology that I cannot understand, because Sikh were very simple-minded people. Kheti badi karde si, they used to earn their kirt kamai, and they were not much into, learning all this deep knowledge that you can get in Shastras, in the Vedas, and Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji nu benti karde ne ki Sache Paatshah, can you please explain these terms in very simple manner that I can understand what I need to do. And for us Sikh as well, if we let go of all the terminology but focus on what it is and what we're supposed to do, it can actually help us in our Bhakti Marg, in our path of meditation as well. So in this video, to make it very simple, I will only explore the parts of Bhakti Yog that was prescribed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So now Guru Nanak Dev Ji goes to explain the 8 parts of the Yog and what is it that we should be doing. So the first part of Yog is Yam. So Yam means abstinence, means not doing something or removing it from your life. In Bhakti Yog, Guru Sahib says what we need to let go when we're doing Bhakti is our home, our pride, our ahankar, of our virtues and our life, of our wealth, of the kind of the greatness of our own self. So Guru Sahib says that when you start doing Bhakti, you will start to adopt a lot of virtues, a lot of guna, and then a lot of Riddhya, Siddhya, powers, miracles, guna will start coming into your life. So the first thing you need to do is let go of your pride on all of these items. So we have to be very, very humble that these virtues, these gifts, these blessings are given to us by WhyGuru, and if Guru Sahib wants, they can take it away from us anytime as well. So Yama for Bhakti Yog is to become humble. Second part of Yog is Niyam. Niyam means a routine or a discipline that we must have as a Sikh. Now you will understand this word Niyam because we have this term called Nitnem. So Nitnem means daily routine, daily discipline. Now this is something that Guru Sahib has always spoken about. Rahat, discipline, Niyam. As a human being, we must have discipline. If we do not have discipline or a rahat, then people will just go crazy and do whatever they want. So rahat, niyam, discipline is like a boundary, a road that we are walking on, and there's dividers, there's barriers that stops us from going outside of our path, and they are very, very necessary, and they have been blessed to us by Guru Sahib. So Guru Sahib says the niyam for someone walking on Bhakti Yog, the first thing is daily. So this is our daily routine, ya Sangaji, to go into Sangat and listen to Katha and Kirtan. So now wherever we are staying, Guru Sahib's Kirpa, there's Gurdwaras everywhere. In a single town, you might have 4 to 5 Gurdwaras. Then there are towns where there are not Gurdwaras at all. So some people are very blessed to have Sangat very near them, and some people do not have Sangat near them. They have to travel 1 hour, 2 hours far to go to a Gurdwara. So Guru Sahib gives us a few recommendations of few things that we can do here. First thing is to go into Sangat daily and listen to Katha and Kirtan. Then Guru Sahib says, if the Sikh can, you should read Gurbani daily. If you can read Gurbani, you should read it daily. And if the Sikh can listen to Gurbani, you should listen to Gurbani daily as well. So reading Gurbani is when we do our Nitnem in the morning, in the evening we do Rehra Sahib, at night before we go to sleep we do Soila Sahib, and other Baniya throughout the day, Panj Granthi, Sukhmani Sahib, Asa Di Vaar. And listening to Gurbani is when we are driving, when we are walking, we are shopping, walking around, traveling, working at home, cleaning, doing chores. Guru Sahib says, Tusi Bani nu suno. So even if you have earphones or headphones or whatever it is, or Gurbani radio, listen to it all the time. So Gurbani is always entering your mind. So Guru Sahib says this is a niyam of a Sikh walking on Bhakti Yog. Now the third one is Ekanta Desh. In Bhakti Yog, Guru Sahib says that Grihastha Jivan is the best way to do Bhakti, which means that living a householder's life, living within this world, within this Kaljug, and still doing Bhakti. So in Bhakti Yoga, how do we practice Ekanta Desh? Guru Sahib says the solitude that we need to practice is while living in this world, we have to see and realize and accept कि सारियां दे विच रब वसदा, that there is WhyGuru in everybody and everything that we see. So when we interact with people, our bosses, our colleagues, students, teachers, friends, family, the way we interact with them must be that the person standing in front of me has WhyGuru in them. The person standing in front of me that I'm talking to, or I'm about to get angry, has the light of WhyGuru in them. So when you think like that, the way you interact with the world, the way you speak will completely change. You will no longer speak or act from the place of panjachor, but rather from the place of compassion, from daya, from santok, from prem, from love. Then the fourth part of yoga is asana. In Bhakti Yog, the asana that we need to do is to place our focus in Paramatma. So however you are meditating, so for older generations, sometimes they can't sit, your knees are hurting, you sit on the chair, or some people cannot bend their knees, cannot fold their knees, so maybe sitting on the ground on an elevated surface with your legs straight. However, whatever position that you want to sit in while you're walking or standing, Guru Sahib says as you're meditating, your asana, your posture, your position must be, your mind must be focused in single position in Paramatma. So in many times when you're doing bhakti and you're saying WhyGuru, 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 your mind will wander around. That's the job of the mind. It will wander around. What you need to do is always bring it back, and bring the focus back to WhyGuru. So that is our asana. That is the position that we need to be in. Then the fifth part of yoga is pranayama. And in Bhakti Yog, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that what is our breathing technique? So again, going to the same terminology, Purak. Purak is when we are breathing in. Guru Sahib says, as a Sikh, what should we take in? Should be the teachings of Gurbani, the Sikhya of the Guru, the words of Gurbani that we listen to. We should be taking that all inside of us. So taking in all the teachings, the instructions of Gurbani, of Guru Sahib within us, that is Purak. Then comes Kumbhak. Kumbhak means when you're holding your breath. In Bhakti Yog, Kumbhak is basically all the teachings and instructions and Gurbani that you have taken in. What you need to do with that is, you need to now apply it, you need to practice it, you need to do what the Guru has asked you to do. If the Guru says, Sangat vich jao, if the Guru says, Bani paro, Seva karo, let go of kaam, do not look at Prai Istri Prayatana. These are the things that we need to now practice. So that is our Kumbhak. And then Rechak, which means when we breathe out. So what is it that we need to let out? What is it that we need to let go? Guru Sahib says is all the negativity, all the avguna, the bad qualities that Guru Sahib reminds us not to indulge in. Those are the things that we need to let go of, let out from our mind and body. So in Hatha Yoga, the same breathing technique, now Guru Sahib has brought Gurbani and spirituality in Bhakti Yoga. Now the sixth part of yoga is Dhyan. So Dhyan is meditation. In Bhakti Yoga, Guru Sahib says ki whatever Guru Sahib's message is, especially when we take a Hukamnama or when we read Gurbani, Guru Sahib says our Dhyan must be on the message of Gurbani and to accept it as truth. Do not have any doubt on the message of Guru Sahib. So even Gurbani says, Gur kahya sakar kamaho. Whatever the Guru says, do as you're told. Gur ki karni kahe tavo. Why are you questioning or having doubts on the actions of Guru Sahib? So Dhyan for us is focusing and accepting Guru Sahib's message and teaching to be truth and not having doubt on it. Then the seventh part of yoga is Tarna. So Tarna is basically concentration and focus of the mind when we are meditating. So in Hatha Yoga and in Bhakti Yoga, we can see this similarity that the problem when we do bhakti or when we meditate is the mind doesn't stay focused. It just wanders around everywhere. And Guru Sahib mentions here, first we need to understand why does the mind wander around? What causes it to be here, there, everywhere? And that is because of the desires, the asa, and the mansa, the thoughts created by the mind based on the lifestyle that we live in, based on the environment that we live in, the people we interact with. So what happens is, when we do not control information entering through our senses, our eyes, our ears, when we don't control these things, where will all this information go? Into our mind. And because the mind is constantly taking on all this information, there's literally an information overload. When we close our eyes and now we are sitting to do bhakti and hoping that our mind will be clear, focused, that's when all this information, all the things that we have taken in, that's when everything will start coming out to be digested, to be understood, to be, processed and so on. And all this information will start coming out, all the things that we have seen, the things we have heard. Now, these are the things that will disrupt our meditation process. Now you're closing your eyes and do bhakti, and suddenly you remembered what someone said to you yesterday about a third person. It might be a chugli or a nindya, and now you're thinking about that conversation. So Guru Sahib says that in Tarna, what we need to do is that when our mind wanders, which means that now you're meditating and the mind wanders around, what you need to do is to constantly bring it back. So it's like a train on a railway track. The train is traveling, is going, and it stops. And it's trying to go outside of the track. You need to bring it back. It tries to go outside of the track, you need to constantly bring it back. And this is the effort that we need to put in. It might be a bit difficult, it might be frustrating. Sometimes we lose hope, sometimes we say, "Main thoni bhakti hundi, mera man tikkada nahi." But that's what happens in the very beginning. If you open a water tank that has not been touched for 10 years, there's water inside. Now suddenly someone comes and opens the tap. You don't expect clean water to come out immediately. You're going to expect some, congestion, there's some blockage there. You need to clear that blockage. And then what's going to come out first is that completely black, dirty, smelly water is going to come out first. And then if we don't wait, we are going to assume that the whole pani in the tank is just that dirty, smelly water. But someone who's patient, that's the guna, the virtue that Guru Sahib blesses us with, of patience, of santokha, tiraj. Someone who has tiraj in them will wait, and after 1 minute, after 2 minutes, you will start seeing that the water will start to become clearer and clearer and clearer. The smell will start to go away. So that's the same thing with bhakti as well. So Guru Sahib says, all you need to do as the one doing bhakti is to bring your mind back to focus. And what can we say to our mind? When you bring your mind back to focus, Guru Sahib says, always think that nothing is more important than me doing bhakti right now. Think about that. Nothing is more important. Be it you're hearing a sound or some thoughts are coming in or suddenly remembered a conversation, you need to tell yourself, nothing is more important than a bhakti I'm doing right now. And your mind will slowly start to come back. When you keep on bringing back your mind, maybe in the first few practices, it's going to be every minute, every 30 seconds. After that, your mind will slowly start to focus longer and longer and longer. Then the last part of yoga is samadhi. So samadhi is basically after you have done meditation, your dhyan, then you enter tarna, means now you're focused, you have a concentration. Samadhi is now when you have now absorbed into WhyGuru. So you're so absorbed into WhyGuru that your mind is completely quiet, settled down, and there is no conversation or no voices or nothing, no activity in your mind basically. And samadhi is basically the stage where you have full concentration bhakti meditation for 2 to 4 kadiyan. So that if you're able to focus and do bhakti meditation, single-minded focus, for 2 to 4 kadiyan, 1 kadi is 24 minutes, that is called a samadhi already. So that is what we want to achieve. And as someone who is constantly being able to do that, then their whole life they do bhakti, however they do sitting, walking and all, they are constantly in samadhi. So Guru Sahib says that you have 2 paths, Hatha Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Hatha Yoga, you have to do a lot of physical penance, tapasya with your body, with your breathing techniques, physically doing things so that it helps with your bhakti. But in Bhakti Yog, Guru Sahib says you don't have to make a lot of physical efforts. All you need to do is wherever you are, in whatever environment you are already in, live in that environment, but do your meditation and bhakti. So let me know what you think could be the path for you in the comments below. Thank you for watching. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh.